So the last couple months I've taught myself to sew. And these are lighter cases. And I liked it. It's fun to do. I've made a bunch of wallets, a bunch of leather stuff. Now I do use a laser to cut out all my patterns like we're going to do back here on my new machine I just got. This is going to turn into one of them lighter holders I just showed you. And this is my new machine. Now, I got this out of China, and it had issues at first, but it wasn't, I don't think it was any fault of them or me. It was just dry on oil somewhere. And I oiled the snot out of it, and it started working fine. Something was hanging up in it. I just think it didn't have any oil. That was the only issue I had with it. And it works really good. Now I'm going to find the tripod here. I'm going to set you on that, so I'll be back. Now this step's very important. I'm going to mask this to cut it out. This step is very important. This is a wet rag. This stuff will catch on fire. I've caught this whole machine on fire before. So I dampen it down. And we're going to do the cut. If you don't dampen it down, you get the burn marks from where it cuts it out. Now these are real leather, but this does two purposes. It keeps it from burning the leather, and it kind of pulls some of that the char off of the engraving. I know you probably can't see it, but it's on there. And see, if I didn't have masked them, you'd have all that crap on the leather. It does wash off. It just makes another step you don't have to do. And then we'll peel old Snoopy. See, it still chars them a little bit, but not as bad as what it could be. This is some dark brown leather dye that I watered down, and it's now a light brown. These are water soluble. We're gonna just go over this nicely. See, watch, that'll go away. No, it didn't. The tape's stuck on there. The glue on the tape. You'll never notice it when I'm done. I do this right after I tan them because it seems to work better, and it kind of makes it all blend in. Shit, that rag's dirty. And see how it kind of made that all blend in. Now before I sew these, we're going to have to let them dry for a couple hours here, because the sewing machine will mush the leather because they're flimsy, real flimsy now. We got lunch cooking. But this is my sewing machine set up. I made the gear reduction myself. Made the stand I found at a dumpster auction. This is my Honkon sewing machine. This thing's been a beast. I've made 100 of these on this machine now or better. Now, it didn't come with the drop down thing, but this helps to keep them lined up. This thing's been a beast. I really like it. My other one's supposed to come today, and I was using big thread on this and I didn't like it. I couldn't get the back stitching to look good. It always jumbled up. So I've gone down 2 thread sizes now to make my back stitching look good. Now, there's the stitching right there's where I back stitched, and see it's not all jumbled up there now. It's pretty decent looking. Now it's leather, the needle is going to punch through. I think I need to go down a needle size or 2 yet too, but it's the only one I got for now. But this thing's been a beast. I love it. I'll bring you back when they dry up. I'm gonna eat some lunch and I gotta change a few tires here, so I'll bring you back when we set them. I think these are pretty dry now. We're on a sticker. You gotta hold your thread. And I'll do 3 stitches, and then I'll go back 3. And this thing stitches super slow, or you can go fast with it. And then I'll go back 4 on this one because there'll be a lot of stress on this thread. And it makes a really nice stitch. Whoosha! This is my second purchase from the sewing machine company. They seem to do an awful good job of boxing this stuff. Because this rode on the slow boat from China. And if it's anything like my other machine, I want to get into sewing hat patches, like that stuff. Because I've learned how to make my own hats. And I want to do unique custom stuff. I don't know how you pronounce it, and I'm sorry, China people. Honkon. But this took the slow boat from China to get here. I ordered this pre-tariff. The other one comes boxed really good too. Yep, a box in a box. Holy. I mean, look how well packaged this thing is. I've ordered other stuff before it in China, and it's never been packaged this good. That's 15 millimeter better cardboard. And this thing was super affordable. This thing was only a couple $100. What? $380 shipped here. Now my other one's a little fancier, so it costs a little more. I'm just going to destroy this box. I'm tired of leaning it over. Uh-oh. What do we got here? Belt. And the typical screwdriver setup. That's a knee kicker. Bulb and wander. Accessory kit. Never got one of them before. What's in it? What's in it? All kinds of cool shit. A couple extra needles. Different foots. Now this is a heavy duty, very heavy unit. I have a table already set up over there for it. I'll just have to order, I don't know what kind of gearing this thing's got in it, but I need to gear this one down too, I do believe. So we got a little work to do. This said double needle too, so I gotta get that on to make it work. And that's heavy duty. It's not this shit you buy from Walmart. Alright, I'm going to drag it over there on the table. And I'll bring these back when I get... I don't know how far I'm going to get it hooked up today. I don't know whether I'm going to have to order a belt. All right, let me get it over on the table and we'll go from there. This is the new Honkon post bed machine I got. I wanted this to do hats. Oh, shit.
This is pretty cool. So 455.4. This thing is actually magical. Now keep in mind, this is 1970 we're talking about. 55 years ago. That thing makes 370
This is my new Honkon post bed machine. I got this to put patches on hats. Now, I have tried every self-adhesive patch in the world, and they never stay on. This is one of the reasons why I've never tried to sell hats, because the patches and the sticky stuff on the back just don't stay on. Now, as earlier in the video, you've seen my other machine doing lighter cases. Well, this is to do hats. Now you got to pull that inner lining down, because you don't want to get that in between the stitching. And I have this just glued on there with some spray adhesive just to hold it for now. And I'm going to sink the needle in there, and then we have, I've got to bolt this thing down yet. And I'm going to grab your thread, and we're going to sew away here. And then the corners I kind of do by hand. The round ones you can go round and round on, but these corners I like doing by hand. Because I have not mastered this yet by any means. And we're going to move it over here. Spin her the other way and sew across the top. And in the corner. Make sure your flaps out of the way. Uh-oh. I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to cut this off, and I want to try to catch the same holes that I started when I started to sew this on. So we'll kind of go to the next hole where I started the thread, and we're going to sew on 2 or 3 threads here, or 2 or 3, just to lock the stitch in place. And like I said, I've tried every stick-on patch there ever was. Is why I never got into this. And there you have it. It's sewed on. It's not coming off of there. I get sawdust all over everything from making this fit this bed. I had to do a little fine finagling to get this machine to fit on this table. But we're gonna stick that in there, put that down. And the time you spend screwing around with them iron-on patches, hitting the heat gun out, letting the heat gun warm up, fiddling around with it, and them falks, what they call it, falk leather or fake leather stuff on the Etsy you get, them irons, when you iron them on, if you're not careful, you'll burn that imitation leather and it'll turn it brown, and then it starts to look like crap. But I'm gonna make sure everything's good here. But this is way faster than that. Go ahead and cut the thread, and I'm going to kind of work this around the corner here till we get straight. Kind of work it around the corner here. And there we have it. Now I like staining these after the fact when they're glued on here. We'll go out here and do one real quick. This just seems easier to me.
And we're going to have to stop at a few places before we hit the road. I learned on my last Canada trip, Texas Auto is
Some brown leather done.
They have BOGOs and singulars. So we're going to go to Canadian Tire. So they have kits. We're going to get a kit. We're going to get fuel.
Now if I was using white thread, I would let these dry for, I would go ahead and stain them and let them dry for, let them dry. So you could see the white thread.
Basically in the oceans to the east. Way out there. Buzzers. Look at that.
And this is some leather sealer.
What a rig.
And I see these hats out there that
Our steering works.
These guys dye them so dark you can't even read what's on the hat, and I don't see the reasoning why they would do that.
What are the chances the radio works?
Because I want to, if you're advertising with a hat, you want to be able to read the damn thing. This is just some sealer, and it'll make it look a little satiny looking, and it could kind of preserve that etching on there. It'll kind of keep it on there even if it's washed, and I like to get it on there pretty heavy. Now it kind of looks blue now probably, but that'll dry clear. And I hope to make some money off of doing this. I got a lot into doing this. And there you go. And then here's one I finished a little while ago. See how you can read it really good? I watch these guys on YouTube, they're tan it so dark you can't even read it. But that's the end of this video. Sorry it's a little long, but thanks for watching.